There's no other form of entertainment that delivers jaw-dropping surprises quite like wrestling. You never really know what's about to happen until that moment when a wrestler steps out from behind the curtain. It's the ultimate mix of excitement, action, and unpredictability. But what truly makes these moments unforgettable are the fans' reactions. Today, we're taking a look at some of the most electric fan responses to WWE superstars making their grand returns. We're counting down the top 10 wildest comebacks that sent the crowd into a frenzy. But before we jump into the main list, let's give a nod to a few honorable mentions. Remember Shane McMahon's unexpected return in 2016? Absolutely no one saw that coming. Then there's The Undertaker, who's had so many legendary comebacks that he could fill a list all by himself. And who could overlook Triple H's iconic return in 2002? Just think about how viral those reaction videos would have gone if social media was around back then. Stone Cold 2018. Now, let's talk about number 1 on our list, Stone Cold in 2018. Even though Austin's in-ring career wrapped up in 2003, there's still nothing like hearing that glass shatter when Stone Cold makes his entrance. Throughout the late 90s and early 2000s, his comebacks had fans in the arena going absolutely wild. Steve Austin built his legacy on kicking the McMahons' butts, so it was pure nostalgia seeing the Rattlesnake return for Raw 25 in 2018. You can't celebrate Monday Night Raw's anniversary without the man who made the show iconic, and the fans definitely lost their minds when Austin hit the ring.
There's not one person in the world that's ever helped me.
Stone Cold, Steve Austin was the ultimate rebel, giving the middle finger to anyone who tried to hold him back. Dressed in jeans and a black leather vest often drenched in beer, Austin was the epitome of defiance and attitude. When that glass shattered in the arena, everyone knew it was time for chaos. And if you found yourself on the wrong side of Austin's fury, well, sorry about that. Trained by gentleman Chris Adams, Austin first hit the wrestling scene in Texas with the USWA in 1990. A year later, he made a splash in WCW, winning the WCW Television Championship as Stunning Steve Austin. An elbow injury led to his exit from WCW, but thanks to Paul Heyman and ECW, Austin honed his craft and voice, setting the stage for his WWE rise. He joined WWE in January 1996 as Ted DiBiase's $1 Million champion, debuting as the Ringmaster and defeating Savio Vega in a rather forgettable WrestleMania match. But it wasn't long before Stone Cold emerged and took over. Austin was unstoppable, smashing through anyone who stood in his way on his quest to WWE's pinnacle. His first major clash came with Bret Hart. Their feud reached its peak at WrestleMania 13 in a submission match. Despite not being the technical expert that Hart was, Austin matched him strike for strike. In a defining moment, Austin refused to tap out to Hart's sharpshooter, passing out in pain as the crowd cheered him on. Austin's rise faced a major setback in 1997 at SummerSlam when he suffered a neck injury during a match with Owen Hart, but he bounced back and quickly soared to the top of WWE, taking on legends like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker. However, his most memorable feuds were with The Rock and WWE Chairman Mr. McMahon. The feud with McMahon started in late 1997 when Austin, furious over losing this Intercontinental title, delivered a stone-cold stunner to his boss at Madison Square Garden. This rivalry came to define the Attitude Era, with Austin frequently getting one over on McMahon. Austin retired from wrestling after WrestleMania 19, but continued to make unforgettable WWE appearances, often at McMahon's expense. The crowd always went wild when they heard that glass shatter and saw Austin make his entrance, whether it was on a Zamboni or a beer truck. Austin's in-ring achievements were impressive: 6 WWE championships, 2 Intercontinental championships, a record 3 Royal Rumble wins, and Triple Crown champion status. His 2009 WWE Hall of Fame induction was a no-brainer. In a recent interview, the wrestler didn't totally shut down the idea of making a comeback. "I said I'd never get in a ring again unless all the stars aligned," Austin said. And for some reason, somehow, they all did. "And at the age of 57, I headlined the first night of WrestleMania. I never thought I'd do that. If you'd have told me that when I retired in 2003, 2003, I'd have said, "You're crazy, so I'm not going to sit here and say no to anything because you never say never in this crazy business of sports entertainment." Rey Mysterio 2018. At number 2, we have Rey Mysterio in 2018. Rey's always been a crowd favorite, so it was pretty heartbreaking to see him get booed out of the building at the 2014 Royal Rumble. That was one of his last appearances during his first run with WWE, and it definitely wasn't the farewell anyone expected. But fast forward to 2018, and the reaction to Rey's return at the Rumble was a total 180. Fans went absolutely wild, and Rey looked like he was back in his prime, moving with the same speed and energy as when he was in his early 20s. Standing at just 5'6" and weighing 175 pounds, Rey Mysterio may not have the size you'd expect from a WWE superstar, but he's proven time and time again that greatness isn't about stature. Despite his height, Rey has achieved incredible feats in WWE, from snagging the WWE Championship and 2 World Heavyweight Championships to claiming multiple Intercontinental, United States, and Tag Team titles. And let's not forget his amazing Royal Rumble win as the number 2 entrant, where he outlasted 29 other superstars. Trained in the rich tradition of lucha libre in Mexico before he could even drive, Rey adopted his ring name to honor his uncle and followed the tradition of wearing a mask. Even in a world full of masked high flyers, Rey stood out with his electrifying moves, catching the eye of ECW and WCW. His legendary matches with Eddie Guerrero and Psychosis became fan favorites. Rey joined WWE in 2002 and made an immediate impact, starting in the Cruiserweight and Tag Team divisions. His victory in the 2006 Royal Rumble showed that he was more than capable of beating the odds. At WrestleMania 22, he made history as the smallest superstar to win the World Heavyweight Championship. After a brief hiatus, Rey made a stunning comeback at the 2018 Royal Rumble and quickly reasserted himself, winning the United States title in 2019. His dream of teaming up with his son Dominic came true when they became the first father-son duo to win the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Unfortunately, that dream took a dark turn when Dominic betrayed him to join the Judgment Day. Despite this, Rey was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2023 and even defeated his son at WrestleMania that same year. Rey continued to make waves by teaming up with Legado del Fantasma and reviving the LWO, eventually adding Carlito to their ranks. With the LWO by his side, Rey captured the United States Championship for the 3rd time. With his groundbreaking style and relentless determination, Rey Mysterio has earned the respect of fellow superstars and fans, cementing his place as one of WWE's most iconic and beloved figures. Chris Jericho, 2007. Chris Jericho is known as the King of Reinvention, always making a splash every time he returns to WWE. In 2007, Jericho made one of his most memorable comebacks, debuting a fresh new look. But before his big return, WWE aired a series of cryptic vignettes, challenging fans to crack the code and figure out who was coming back. It didn't take long for fans to realize that Y2J was behind it all, which only built up the anticipation. By the time Jericho finally showed up on the November 19th episode of Raw in Fort Lauderdale, the crowd went absolutely wild. Chris Jericho, born in Manhasset, New York, and raised in Winnipeg, Manitoba, found his passion for wrestling early on. By the age of 19, he was already training at the Hart Brothers School of Wrestling. He started out wrestling in Canada and quickly made his mark in Mexico and Japan, blending different international styles into his own. Jericho's career took off in ECW, but it was his 1996 debut in WCW that really launched him into stardom. With his Jerichoholics fan base growing, he won multiple championships, though backstage politics pushed him to jump ship to WWE. There, he made an unforgettable debut on Raw in 1999 and never looked back. Jericho thrived in WWE, becoming a 9-time Intercontinental Champion and a 7-time Tag Team Champion, among other accolades. His controversial talk show, The Highlight Reel, stirred up plenty of drama, but his biggest moment came at Vengeance in 2001 when he became WWE's first undisputed champion by defeating The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the same night. Jericho's WWE journey has had its highs and lows, with breaks to pursue acting, music with his band Fozzy, and writing. But he always comes back, proving time and again that he's still a force to be reckoned with. In his most recent WWE run, Jericho teamed up with Kevin Owens, created the iconic List of Jericho, and won his first United States Championship. However, their partnership ended in a shocking betrayal during the Festival of Friendship, leading to a fierce rivalry between the two. With the heart of a lion and the spirit of a champion, Chris Jericho continues to push boundaries and take on all challengers. Brock Lesnar 2012. Brock Lesnar's part-time schedule has given us plenty of opportunities to witness his epic returns over the years. But this series of comebacks really kicked off when Brock made his return to WWE in 2012, fresh off his stint in the UFC. Lesnar came back as an even bigger star, and fans were thrilled to see the Beast take on the new wave of WWE talent, including John Cena. Now Cena had faced Lesnar back in the day and got destroyed, but this time he was on Brock's level and ready to welcome him back to the WWE. However, Brock had his own plans, all while the roar of the WrestleMania crowd echoed in the background. Fast forward to SummerSlam 2021, and Lesnar's surprise return after the main event left fans in shock, creating one of those unforgettable moments that sparked all kinds of reactions. Brock Lesnar, whether you call him the Conqueror or the Beast incarnate, lives up to every bit of his legendary status. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches and weighing 266 pounds, Lesnar's raw power and intensity are like something out of a superhero comic. From Minneapolis, Minnesota, he's dominated every major combat sport he's entered. He won the NCAA Division I Wrestling Championship at the University of Minnesota, claimed the WWE Championship within just 6 months of his debut, and became UFC heavyweight champion in only his 4th MMA fight. Oh, and let's not forget, he's the guy who ended The Undertaker's 21-0 streak at WrestleMania. Scouted by WWE while still crushing it in college wrestling, Lesnar debuted on Raw on March 18, 2002, and immediately laid waste to everyone in his path. With Paul Heyman in his corner, the next big thing quickly became the youngest WWE champion at the time, after defeating The Rock. After nearly a decade away, Lesnar returned to WWE in 2012 without missing a beat, taking on the biggest names in the business. From his historic win over The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30 to major victories against John Cena, Randy Orton, Goldberg, and Roman Reigns, Lesnar has cemented his place as one of WWE's most unstoppable forces, and he's not done yet. John Cena 2021. Cena knows how to make a comeback, and whenever he does, it never fails to electrify the crowd. Whether it's a surprise appearance or a long-awaited return, fans go wild every time. Just think back to the 2008 Royal Rumble. No one saw him coming back from injury that soon, and the place erupted. Now let's dive into his return at Money in the Bank 2021. It was his first time back in front of fans after a year and a half, and while not everyone expected it, those who did still went absolutely crazy. And, of course, Cena pulled off a similar move 2 years later at the same event in London, England. John Cena is everywhere. He's a 16-time world champion, a New York Times best-selling author, and holds the record for the most Make-A-Wish requests granted. He's dropped a hit album, starred in blockbuster movies, and has been the face of WWE for nearly 2 decades. If you haven't noticed him by now, you might not be paying attention. From the moment he stepped into the ring against Kurt Angle as a young, fired-up kid from Massachusetts, it was clear Cena was destined for greatness. His ruthless aggression paid off, and soon enough, he was dominating as the Doctor of Thugonomics. His rise rise to the top was solidified when he claimed his first WWE Championship at WrestleMania 21 by defeating JBL. But Cena didn't stop there. He made the top spot his own, throwing down open challenges with his famous line, "You want some, come get some." With his hustle, loyalty, respect mantra, he built the massive Cenation fan base and racked up titles like nobody's business. Cena's career is marked by victories over a who's who of WWE legends and rising stars alike. The Rock, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and more. But he's not just about the ring. Cena's granted over 600 Make-A-Wish requests, living out his never give up motto in real life. And let's not forget his Hollywood success, with hits like Bumblebee, Blockers, and Trainwreck, proving he's got range beyond the ring. Even with all this, Cena still shows up to deliver those signature moves and put on a show. Sure, he might get the occasional "Cena sucks" chant, but rising above the hate is part of what makes him who he is. And he's still up there, waiting for anyone brave enough to take a shot. Hardy Boys 2017. A return at WrestleMania just hits differently because it's on the grandest stage of them all. The fans are already amped up, so just picture their reaction to a jaw-dropping comeback, like the Hardys at WrestleMania 33. The Hardys returned to an event where they had a ton of history and competed in a match type they helped define. The energy in the stadium and around the world was electric. People were ecstatic to see Matt and Jeff back in WWE after almost a decade. The Hardy Boys are legends in the world of wrestling, especially known for their wild ladder matches and epic tables, ladders, and chairs matches. They've snagged the World Tag Team title a whopping 9 times, 6 times with the World Tag Team Championship, once with the WCW Tag Team Championship, and twice with the TNA World Tag Team Championship. Plus, both Matt and Jeff have grabbed singles titles while they were tearing it up as a tag team. Cody Rhodes 2022. Switching to a rival promotion is always a huge move, especially when a wrestler gets catapulted straight into a top spot. But what makes it even more monumental is being the first to make that leap, and doing it on the biggest stage of the year. That's exactly what Cody Rhodes did when he made his epic return to WWE at WrestleMania 38. The wrestling world and the fans went wild. It was a seismic shift, the kind of comeback that was perfect for the grandest stage of them all. Fans were absolutely thrilled, knowing they'd just witnessed a truly historic moment. Cody Rhodes has gone from being overlooked to becoming a force to be reckoned with, all while carrying on his family's legacy. As the son of the iconic Dusty Rhodes, Cody made his mark in WWE from 2007 to 2016, capturing 2 Intercontinental Championships and 6 tag team titles. After leaving WWE to reinvent himself, Cody returned in a big way at WrestleMania 38, surprising everyone as Seth Rollins' opponent. This comeback sparked an intense rivalry with Rollins, highlighted by a memorable Hell in a Cell match where Cody fought through a serious pectoral injury. In 2023 and 2024, Cody achieved something truly remarkable by winning back-to-back Royal Rumbles, joining the ranks of WWE legends like Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Shawn Michaels. The Rock 2011. It was always exciting whenever The Rock made his way back to WWE after stepping away for his movie career. Seeing him return felt like he was coming home, but no comeback hit quite as hard as his 2011 return. When Vince McMahon announced that WrestleMania 27 would have a guest host, fans were buzzing with speculation. Then, the moment everyone had been waiting for arrived, the Great One's iconic music blared through the arena, and the crowd absolutely lost it. This return set the stage for his eventual return to the ring and a world title run. But that night in Anaheim will always be remembered as the moment The Rock brought a surge of energy to WWE that hadn't been felt in a long time. He's been called the Great One, the People's Champion, and the most electrifying man in all of entertainment. But even those titles barely capture the charisma and impact of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. His famous catchphrase, "boots to asses," might come closest. As WWE's first third-generation superstar, The Rock seemed destined for greatness, but his journey to pop culture icon was anything but predictable. Since debuting as a babyface at the 1996 Survivor Series, he's won 8 WWE championships, headlined WrestleMania, hosted Saturday Night Live, written a best-selling autobiography, starred in HBO's Ballers, and dominated the box office with films like Fast Five and The Game Plan. And he's only getting started. Son of WWE Hall of Famer Rocky Johnson, The Rock made an impact early, winning the Intercontinental Championship shortly after his debut. His momentum never slowed, taking on legends like Stone Cold, Steve Austin, and Triple H during the Attitude Era. His catchphrases like "know your role and shut your mouth" and "just bring it" became cultural staples, and his signature move, the Rock Bottom, sealed his victories. Standing at 6 feet 5 inches, The Rock's charisma soon attracted Hollywood, leading to starring roles in movies like The Scorpion King and Gridiron Gang. Despite his record-breaking Hollywood success, he returned to WWE, facing John Cena at WrestleMania 28, winning the WWE Championship from CM Punk in 2013 and defending it against Cena at WrestleMania 29. After stepping away from wrestling, The Rock made a massive comeback in 2024. He joined forces with Roman Reigns as the final boss of the Bloodline, targeting Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins after Rhodes announced his WrestleMania match against Reigns. At WrestleMania XL, The Rock returned to the ring for the first time in over 8 years, teaming with Reigns to take down Rhodes and Rollins. Edge 2020. After Edge retired in 2011 because of some serious neck problems, no one really thought we'd ever see him back in the ring. His injuries were that bad. But back in 2010, he made a surprise return at the Royal Rumble. Their hopes turned into reality at the 2020 Royal Rumble when Edge made a jaw-dropping comeback, and fans completely lost it seeing the 11-time world champ back in action.
You think you know me?
CM Punk 2023. Few people have the power to shake up the wrestling world quite like CM Punk. Every time he makes a comeback, it feels like the industry gets flipped upside down. Punk's long-awaited return to WWE in 2023 seemed like a pipe dream, but in wrestling, you learn never to say never. Time heals wounds, and if it's good for business, those returns are always on the horizon. And let's be honest, nobody benefits more from this than the fans. When something as huge as Punk's comeback happens, we all remember exactly where we were and how we reacted. It's no wonder CM Punk looked up to Rowdy Roddy Piper as a kid. Punk's whole vibe is about challenging the norm, much like Piper, and his talent for dropping those explosive pipe bombs is a clear tribute to Piper's rebellious spirit. Punk's look screams rebel, with all the tattoos and piercings, but he's also a deep thinker with interests that range from ghost hunting to G.I. Joe. He's a big supporter of the straight edge movement, which rejects alcohol, and dependency. When Punk debuted on WWE's ECW in 2006, he brought a unique mix of fighting styles that quickly became his trademark. He went on to win several titles, including the ECW, WWE, World Heavyweight, World Tag Team, and Intercontinental Championships. In 2011, Punk made waves by speaking out against Mr. McMahon and refusing to renew his contract. This led to a WWE Championship match at Money in the Bank in his hometown of Chicago, where he beat John Cena and walked away with the title just as his contract expired. Punk re-signed with WWE shortly after, motivated by a better deal and a desire to prove he was the best. He continued to speak for frustrated fans and solidified his legacy by becoming a two-time WWE champion. His run included memorable battles with The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, and The Shield. Punk's final WWE match was at the Royal Rumble in 2014, where Kane controversially eliminated him. But in 2023, Punk made a shocking return at Survivor Series, War Games reigniting the WWE Universe. Now back on the Raw brand after a heated bidding war, Punk has sparked rivalries with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. The best in the world is back, ready to add even more to his legendary career. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, stay tuned for our next one. Bye.